It was the 6th annual Pink Game hosted by the Western New York Flash to raise awareness for breast cancer. Hello, soccer fans. I'm Joe Giuliano along with Mike Kerms tonight as the Western New York Flash played host to the Houston Dash. And Mike, tonight, valuable playoff points on the line.
Yeah, very valuable playoff points, particularly for the Western New York Flash, who are at the top of the table. They're in third place. With the Portland Thorns, if they didn't get any points tonight, the Western New York Flash can find themselves in second place and really in that position where they can host a game in the playoffs. For the Houston Dash, they're virtually out of the playoffs and really just playing spoiler from here on out. So really, this is a very important match for the Western New York Flash. They really needed 3 points tonight.
These two teams played on July 30th at Houston, a 3-3 draw. Would it be another high-scoring affair? We'll take a look at the highlights tonight from Rhino Stadium as both teams make their way onto the pitch for the introductions in the second and final meeting of the regular season. Early on, we're about 15 or 16 seconds in, and Western New York is knocking on the door.
Yeah, we talked about Becky scoring the fastest goal ever in the Olympic history for the Canadian national team. She plays for the Houston Dash, and here it is, Leanne Sanderson, who should have scored in 16 seconds on a ball from Doniak. Right off the bat, the Western New York Flash putting pressure on.
The speed of Lynn Williams in the 4th minute.
Yeah, and Lynn Williams lays this ball across to Jess McDonald. She loses her footing, and she's definitely going to want this one back when she looks at the videotape. And I think Leanne Sanders is going to want that one back too, as well. 2 golden opportunities right from the start for the Western New York Flash.
2 minutes later, Mewis, Sanderson, they'll battle for the ball, middle of the park, another chance.
Yeah, Mewis with a pretty ball here. Lynn Williams, again, using her speed, 1v1 on Lydia Williams, and she puts it right into her arms. She makes that way too easy for Lydia Williams. And another good run by Lynn Williams, but no result.
Early on, we're scoreless. We'll move to the 28th minute. The Flash will work it from the near side over to the far side. Leads to a good opportunity here.
Yeah, and a big part of this match was really the Houston Dash integrating their players coming from the Olympics. Morgan Bryan slips a beautiful ball behind Elizabeth Eddy right here. And you can see that first pass comes from Becky, and then she slips it to Ohai. Ohai giving problems the entire night on the left-hand side. Ohai slips it back to Becky, doesn't get there. Ertzig tries to clear it, and it's O'Sullivan wide open at the top of the 6 to put that one into the open net.
O'Sullivan's second of the year. It's 1-0 in the 28th minute. 8 minutes later, Western New York, the speed of Lynn Williams leads to this wonderful goal.
Yeah, and Lynn Williams just blowing past Roccaro. And what a dummy here by Jess McDonald, and a great finish by Leanne Sanderson. But it's right here. It's Ohai and Eddy battling all night. Eddy wins that one. Doniak kicks it up to Lynn Williams. Lynn Williams with a beautiful turn. And you can see it's a foot race. Lynn Williams wins it, lays it back. A great dummy call by Leanne Sanderson. And Leanne Sanderson just hammers that one home, getting the one back from earlier.
1-1 after 36 minutes of play. 41st minute, bad coming out of the back for Western New York leads to a chance for the Dash.
Yeah, and it actually started with Sabrina D'Angelo. She had the ball in her hands, and she laid it off to Mewis. Mewis lays it back to her, and then it's just a poor clearance by D'Angelo, and it's another good battle there between Eddy and Ohai with a beautiful cross, and Becky really should have finished that one.
The first half would end 1-1. 6 minutes into half number 2, U.S. international Sam Mewis getting involved with a big shot.
Yeah, and that's a brilliant ball there by Dahlkemper to Hinkle. You see that all the time between those two. Great turn by Mewis. Mewis knocks that one into the lower far corner. Great save by Lydia Williams, and Lynn Williams can't get her hips around it, and it's a good save by Lydia Williams.
We're still tied at 1 in the second half, and a breakaway or a takeaway for Houston in the 53rd minute. Ohai, very dangerous, as you said, all night long.
Yeah, we talked about how Mewis had to get more involved from the first half to the second half. She does. She tries to slip that ball behind Moros to Eddy, and it gets intercepted. Moros hits this to Ohai, and Ohai going 1v1 on Dahlkemper as Eddy's out of position. And what a brilliant shot by Ohai into that far side netting.
Ohai's 5th of the season in the 53rd minute. Western New York, again, they'll respond. We're in the 58th minute. The Flash working it around. It'll be Doniak who gets the goal to make it 2-2.
And it's great combination play. And what a little nick there by Leanne Sanderson to Lynn Williams. And again, it's Jess McDonald's near post run. And Doniak, who we said had to get more involved, she's the most dangerous player on the field. She comes from that outside right midfield position. and she comes crashing in the center of the 18, and a great finish. Here's that flick by Leanne Sanderson. Great run by Lynn Williams, her second assist for the night. That brilliant run by Jess McDonald, and there's Doniak wide open. Maros knows that she let her go. Good finish by Doniak.
Doniak's third on the season. Williams, her fifth assist, her second of the evening. 61st minute, the Brazilian Andressa. She gets a hold of this one.
Yeah, again, it's great stuff by Becky. Andressa laces it, and Sabrina D'Angelo needs to come up big, and D'Angelo just nicks that one over the bar. And again, you can see how Andressa just laces it right here.
And this will stay at 2-2 as the Canadian International does make the save to keep this one level. 2 minutes later, the Canadian International Sabrina D'Angelo called upon, but this time from much closer range.
Yeah, and again, you can see this great cross from the Brazilian to Ohai. Ohai far post. Great save by Sabrina D'Angelo to get herself in the right position as that ball floated from one side to the other. And here's that Brazilian ball again. Brilliant. Ohai wide open. D'Angelo comes up big. Great save. Ohai's going to want that one back.
80th minute, tied at 2. Western New York looking to get those 3 points at home tonight. Hinkle, the outside defender, overlapping.
Yeah, Jaylene Hinkle getting herself involved from the left-hand side. Just laces it with her right peg. And again, from the other side of the pitch, it's Lydia Williams who needs to come up big. And both goalkeepers came up big in this game.
82nd minute, Smith, who comes on as a substitute in the 69th minute. Here's her chance.
Yeah, and here's that right here. Here's a fake shot. Then she pushes it right to the side. She sees that far netting wide open. She hits the crossbar, and she really should have put that one away.
And that would be your scoring for the evening. These two teams end up level at 2-2 from Rhino Stadium. Great goalkeeping tonight, some great offensive opportunities, but for the Flash, when you really break it down, they left some valuable points on the table.
Yeah, they definitely left valuable points on the table, but both goalies did come up big, like you said. Although they gave up 2 goals, there were some brilliant goals scored tonight from both teams, and it's amazing that the Houston Dash are in 9th place. And we want to talk about, you had 7 players from the Houston Dash that were in the Olympics this year, and throughout the season, did they focus more on international play, or did they focus for their club? And I think they were focusing maybe on international play for the Olympics, and unfortunately for the Dash, they're not going to be able to make the playoffs. But the West New York Flash, they have a chance to get home field advantage. Right now, they find themselves in 4th place by getting that tie, as the Chicago Red Stars see themselves in 3rd place, and the Portland Thorns in 2nd place, and of course, the Washington Spirit almost running away with it in 1st place. The West New York Flash gave up some points tonight.
And looking ahead, it's 4 on the road for Western New York. 2 really tough ones at Washington and Portland, and then 2 that they should win at Boston.
Yeah, but 3 games in 8 days is going to be tough. They've got Washington, Boston, and then Portland. That's a tough road trip for the West New York Flash. But yes, they should get points against Boston. They should have gotten points against the Houston Dash tonight, but they didn't.
Well, Mike, great job this season. That'll do it for the home portion of our broadcast. Hopefully there'll be one more coming up in the playoffs that the Flash can pick up 1st or 2nd place. Great job.
Thank you, Joe.
Mike Kerms, our color commentator for our entire production crew here at Rhino Stadium. Thank you very much. Great job this year, guys. The final score tonight from Rhino Stadium, Western New York 2, Houston 2. I'm Joe Giuliano saying so long on the Flash Broadcast Network.